It was 457 years ago that Elizabeth came close to death. But the aftermath of the disease that nearly killed her led to the iconic makeup style. That makes Queen Elizabeth one of the most recognizable monarchs of British royal history. When Queen Elizabeth I was 29 in 1562, she was struck down with what was believed to be a violent fever. Ordered by doctors to remain in her bed at Hampton Court Palace, it was soon clear that her illness was more than just a fever. She had the dreaded smallpox. Smallpox was a feared, deadly, viral disease that was highly contagious. There was no cure and no treatment. In the early stages of smallpox, the Queen refused to believe that she could possibly have contracted such a dreadful disease. A notable German physician, Dr. Burkitt, was invited to the Queen's sick bed. When he diagnosed smallpox, the Queen sent him away, accusing him of being incompetent. Apparently, the word "fool" was uttered from the royal lips too. Eventually, the Queen became so ill she could barely speak and was feared that she was going to die. Her ministers hastily discussed a succession plan, since the Queen had no children. At the time of her illness, Elizabeth's most likely heir was Mary, Queen of Scots. But due to Mary being a Catholic, many British Protestants were concerned about the repercussions of having a Catholic on the throne. But the issue of succession was put aside for another time, as Elizabeth did recover. And, while her face was scarred, she wasn't terribly disfigured. Her loyal lady-in-waiting Mary Sidney, who spent hours by the Queen's bed, caught the dreaded pox, leaving her disfigured for life. When she eventually rose from her sick bed, Elizabeth set about ensuring her beauty was restored. She was devastated when she realized that her skin would always bear the scars of the disease. Almost took her life. It must have been soul-destroying for a woman who believed that much of her power was due to her beauty. So, she began by covering her pockmarks with heavy white makeup. She used what was known as the Venetian ceruse, a mixture of vinegar and lead. A potential killer. At the time of Queen Elizabeth's reign, women strived for a totally white face because it symbolized youth and fertility. It's been argued that the desire for a white face had nothing to do with racism and everything to do with class. If a woman had a white face, it was a clear sign she had never had to work outdoors. Clearly, the major problem with this makeup was the lead ingredient, which, if used over an extended period of time, caused illness and/or death. If the makeup didn't kill you or make you ill, it would make your skin appear gray and wrinkled once the makeup was removed. To make it worse, the white makeup was left on the skin for a long time without being washed off. Ladies left it on their face for at least a week before cleaning themselves. Even the ingredients in the commonly used facial cleanser had the potential to kill. Rosewater, mercury, honey and eggshells were used. The ladies might have felt this concoction left their skin feeling soft and smooth, but the mercury meant the cleanser was actually eating away their skin. To top off the look, Elizabeth also used bright red pigments on her lips that contained additional heavy metals. It was also fashionable to line your eyes with black coal, and use special eye drops known as belladonna which dilated the pupils. Eyebrows were plucked until they were thin and arched, creating the appearance of a high forehead, which supposedly made women look not only intelligent but from the upper class. It's fascinating to see what she looked like without her mask of makeup, and many believe it was the lead in her foundation that led to her death at the age of 69, on March 24, 1603. While the exact cause of Elizabeth's death is debatable, possible causes include blood poisoning, pneumonia, or cancer. She lost most of her hair and was said to be highly fatigued as well as suffering from memory loss and digestive problems, symptoms of lead poisoning. What's not up for debate is the fact that, as she aged, she applied more and more layers of makeup to her face, the never-ending bid to disguise oneself using the deadly mask of youth.